What is up, guys? How's everybody doing today? We're going to hop straight into this. I'm going to turn the reins to Elijah. This is another, what do you call it? This is another, picks episode. So.
Alright, so for this episode, I wanted to cover more non-ranked teams, give some love to the teams that obviously aren't going to be pushed in the mainstream, but there's just not enough intriguing games yet. It's beginning of the year, people playing tune-ups, kind of getting out, but there are still some pretty decent non-ranked games. If I can get my words out. So let's get started with Nebraska and Cincinnati right here. So as you can see, Nebraska has Dylan Raiola coming back. I don't know too much about Cincinnati, but it's been kind of rough for them transitioning to the Big 12. And I'm going to roll with Nebraska here, and they'll probably cover that spread. What's your thoughts on it?
I don't know. These are two teams that I really don't pay that much attention to. But I would say Nebraska's got it.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll Nebraska for that pick. So on to our Friday night games, and once again, it's about the same deal. There's just not enough. It's a lot of, power versus group of five teams, or just group of five versus FCS or whatever. So it's just
not a lot of Wake Forest game.
Exciting ball. I mean, just Wake Forest. I'm not going to waste time on that. But as you can see, here's a bigger matchup. So we have Auburn at Baylor, 8 p.m. Central. We're at Eastern time, so that'd be 7 p.m. Central. Auburn's a 2.5-point favorite. Looks like the spread's pretty high. I'm going to roll Auburn here just because their backs are against the wall. They got Jackson, Arnold from Oklahoma, the transfer QB. They have some pieces to where they probably should have been winning at least 8 games a year with Hugh Freeze, but it just hasn't worked out. But I do feel like with some pressure, they should be able to pull this game out. But if Hugh Freeze loses this game, you can forget it. Auburn's just going downhill. And Baylor's kind of... They had a good year last year, but I don't know if that was just an anomaly or a sign of them going in the right direction. But I do feel like Auburn will get the job done. Any thoughts on this game?
No objections to you, man. I think Auburn probably is going to have it.
All right. And then the next game right underneath is Georgia Tech at Colorado. So Georgia Tech has Haynes King. I don't know how I said that. Jamal Haynes. They have some other pieces on there. I think they got a receiver from FIU. He was pretty good at about 1,000 yards. So with Georgia Tech and the new direction that they're heading in, I feel like this. I know the line's 4.5, and it's probably just because it's a road game, and Deion Sanders coaching Colorado,
and they're at Colorado. So.
I don't see this game really being remotely close on the Instagram prediction. I know I kind of play around with some of the scores, but in my personal opinion, I don't see this game being really within 10, 17 points at all. I got them.
You said 37 and what?
17. I got Georgia Tech winning by a pretty decent margin, but I could see them still winning by 10, 17 points, but that's just the prediction. But, of course, even 10 or 17 points would obviously do your spread right there. So I don't think Colorado has enough coming back.
Going to have to see how it goes because I'm with you on Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech has it. Not really. When it comes to Colorado, it doesn't really pop to me more like Georgia Tech does. So, because I feel like Georgia Tech has the stronger team here.
Yeah, I just don't see
the heightened spirit as well.
It's not really about spirit. It's just they're just going to be a better team, and there's too much turnover on Colorado's roster. I think Caden Salter was announced starter, but I don't think that's going to really do much. So scrolling through, you just kind of see some of these games. I'm not going to really invest. I mean, here, Purdue probably will beat Ball State even though they had a bad year. Honestly, depending on how Tulane's looking, I don't know if they could beat Northwestern, but they may actually. It's just a lot of kind of slower games. Just not a lot really going on.
I mean, you got Alabama and Florida State.
Well, we already covered
We covered it,
so.
but
I mean, Virginia, Coastal Carolina, it's not really too big of a deal. But then we get to a pretty interesting point. And hold on, let me keep scrolling now. They're way far down. Ooh, so these two games are going to be pretty interesting. So first we got California and Oregon State.
Now who can actually, before we go too far, who can actually win and get themselves put up higher on these standings right now? Depending on Yeah, and are basically in rank. Who actually has a shot in boosting up into the ranks right now?
If I were to say right now, probably going to lean Georgia Tech. Next would probably be Auburn. Maybe TCU. Other teams that we didn't cover that aren't ranked are like Louisville, which we know they're going to beat Eastern Kentucky. I saw it earlier somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty close to being ranked.
You think if Georgia Tech goes up, they'll be able to hold a rank into
Well,
like about mid-season, or do you think they're going to be just stuck?
Well, what they have to do is get out of the mediocrity because they've still been hovering around the 7-win mark, and what they really need to do is be able to stop losing the game that's caused them to lose 5 in the regular season and start flipping those to where they're like at least around 9 wins where you have a good shot at it.
Okay.
But back to
so I guess we'll continue this
predictions, which is a pretty good point. Though he's trying to just make more sense of it. California and Oregon State. So Cal lost just a lot. I know their defense is going to be pretty solid, but they lost a lot offensively. All their running backs practically left, quarterback left. It's going to be a pretty big rebuild. Oregon State gains, I think the guy from Duke that transferred, Malik Murphy. Oregon State, for their being kicked out of the Power 5, they have a pretty decent schedule if you've actually taken a look at it. They made a pretty decent schedule. I kind of can respect it. So here I'm going to lean Oregon State to beat Cal. I don't see much going on for Cal. This is like a former Pac-12 game, but I think Oregon State got this one in the bag. And then next game, and this one, if you remember this team, UCLA, so they weren't as really that hot last year, but they got Nico coming over. You know, you had all the Tennessee drama. He decides to leave for more money. It kind of backfired a little bit. So you would think he would
I got a little bit of hope for UCLA.
have something to prove.
I'm hoping that they'll actually be able to like make a mark.
But Utah, I feel like
burning
they're
out.
going to beat UCLA. UCLA is just kind of, at this point, somewhat of a joke, and they're not going to be in a good position. Nico's going to find out.
Utah will probably beat them, but I do want to see UCLA kind of as that underdog kind of step back up and at least get to like mid-season with a possible rank. Even if it's dead last,
they're not getting
having
ranked.
At least some sort of
They're
rank.
not getting ranked. Oh, but fun fact.
No, I know they're probably not, but
no,
I would
they're
like
not.
to see them get up there.
You won't
That way
see
they
that.
can at least rebuild this team back up.
You ain't seeing that. But here's a fun fact, though. All teams are actually ranked, even the ones you don't see. They just don't go that far to do it.
Yeah.
Because who wants to see, like, number 10 and they're playing, like, 60 that day? I don't think anyone's going to care that much.
Yeah.
And then last game,
Holy
TCU
crap, it's number 32 versus number 42.
in North Carolina. Pretty bad interruption right there. TCU and North Carolina's playing. So you got the whole Bill Belichick deal. I don't see this game being close. I don't think North Carolina has what it takes to win. I know they got not Mac Brown, Bill Belichick, but there's not enough on that roster. I think they got like Gio Lopez starting. I think it's just a joke, and I didn't understand why you were going to fire Mac Brown and then for old age reasons, and then you hired a coach that was literally 1 year younger than him, and it just did not make any sense whatsoever. It was just a bad deal. I don't know why they even did that, but I'm going to roll TCU in here pretty easily. I don't see them. On the score predictions, I got them winning by way more than 3. I'm just not a big believer in North Carolina this year at all. So that's it for the non-ranked games. Those are probably the more standout. And yeah, I could have covered more teams, but do you want me to tell you and reaffirm that USC is going to, if you can see that, you want me to tell you that USC can beat Missouri State or Vanderbilt? We know Vanderbilt has gotten a little bit better. They're going to beat Charleston Southern. Do I need to confirm that Arkansas is going to beat Alabama A&M? Do I need to confirm that I said it earlier, Louisville's going to beat Eastern Kentucky?
Georgia's going to beat Marshall.
Do I need to tell you about these games for the most part? There's just no real reason to.
Not right now, not with the beginning of this season happening the way it's happening. It's like there's no need to go over all these because the games are about to start slowing down as they go through. We're going to start seeing some teams getting dropped, so it's going to be interesting.
The only honorable mention game that I may have wanted to mention was North Carolina State and NC State. I mean, North Carolina State and East Carolina. How did I read that wrong? But Yeah, North Carolina State's 14.5 point favorite. Dave Dorn's kind of at the end. He didn't have a good year last year. They should be able to win this game, but I feel
And
like
they're in Raleigh, North Carolina.
East Carolina's going to cover this game. So yeah, but other than that, I can't think of anything. So just to highlight what we did, we chose Nebraska. Keep scrolling. Chose Auburn, Georgia Tech. Way down here. Chose Oregon State. Chose Utah. And TCU are our picks. So that is, did I count that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was 6 games, right? Yeah, 6 games that we just covered today.
Yeah.
So we'll just see how y'all kind of like the video. We'll probably have to try to see different ways we can make this kind of content a little bit more interactive, but we definitely know people like to look for it.
I mean, you guys can always
drop our
go into
thoughts.
the comments, different places like that, and kind of look and see what all, how you guys feel about it. We'll kind of hear y'all out. Argue in the comments almost like which teams you guys are going to think, who's going to beat who, what's going to go on, what fan you are, stuff like that. And that also helps us interact with you guys. So, yeah, if you guys want to do that, Elijah, you want to read out the Instagram real quick?
I ain't got it really. Well, you talking about?
I mean, it's in the description, but you can find us at Instagram at
Oh yeah, the Better Days
the
podcast.
Better Days Podcast. So so you're done. We don't have nothing else to talk about right now.
I mean, that's all I wanted
Standings
to
wise,
cover.
I think we're pretty good. Instagram's lighting up. We're doing pretty good. So I guess we'll go ahead and end this one here, and we will see all you people in the next one. Bye, guys.